Unreal Engine coding standards require video game studios to use inclusive language in programming and documentation. Do you realize what that means?
No, no, not really.
Okay, you know they already want their games inclusive. Inclusive. They want the black trannies and wheelchairs and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now the coders who write code on a computer, they're telling them they can't use words like slave and master and blacklist and whitelist and a whole long list of such terms,
Oh, okay. I understand now.
which is ridiculous. Some of those terms are absolutely required in coding, unless I'm mistaken. I believe coding can't be done without some of those terms, without a rewrite from the ground up, from the compilers to everything, to the code itself.
Well, I know that some hardware uses those terms, like in hard drives, master drive and slave drive, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now they're going, oh no, you're offending me,
Oh, they get offended by everything.
and proving that identity politics have quite literally seeped into the very DNA of video games. Epic Games is taken to encouraging developers who use their popular Unreal Engine to employ inclusive language in their respective titles' programming codes.
Okay, I have a question though. Would programmers have to relearn how to code if they can't use those terms that they're used to using?
Technically, yes.
Oh my god. And I can
Also,
only.
the programs they use to code with would have to be rewritten, and the compilers would have to be rewritten. Now, if I'm mistaken on this, I doubt I am. I know to some degree, I believe that's how it will have to be done.
So basically, you're telling me that they would have to relearn everything from the ground up to be more inclusive.
Do not use metaphors or similes that reinforce stereotypes. Examples include contrast black and white, or blacklist and whitelist. They began, do not use words that refer to historical trauma or lived experience of discrimination. Examples include slave, master, and nuke.
Okay, but if somebody's been coding for years and years and years, and they have to go back and relearn all the terms because they can't use master and slave and that kind of thing, I would be mad. What are you doing?
I feel like a long-haired dog now.
Oh, you would make a pretty puppy.
A bit of the mange.
No, you don't got the mange.
Woof. Woof.
Oh my
Woof.
goodness. Oh
Anyway.
my goodness.
Anyway.
I think you'd be a better cat. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's like some of these workers. They show up one day to work, and they're like, the day before they were a black tranny, and the next day is like, I'm gonna be a kitty cat today. They are prioritizing these positions for these special types of people, and they're even given money to prioritize these people, not the person who has the most best skill for the job.
Okay, so for all practical purposes, I could go in there and say I identify as a cat and get a job.
I suppose you'd have to fluff it up with, like Twitter profile and a Facebook and who knows what else. Also, I have no doubt they're plucking them fresh out of college to do this.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, you get those simpletons that are all ate up with isms, They get them when they're young, and they're like, we got them now, we can put all this crap in their head.
Yeah.
Because if you ever look at them before and then after, they're entirely different people. The problem is they get them when they're young, and much of that becomes permanent in their minds.
Well, I'm wondering if
And they are teaching them hate. Let's not mince words. They're teaching them to hate.
well, I know in women's study classes that's what goes on in a lot of those classes. I took some of them.
Most of those classes teach you to over and over again in multiple various ways that you are a victim. You are a victim, and it's everybody's fault, and you're special, and you deserve special treatment.
Yeah.
Either we're all victims or none of us are victims. And no, I'm not talking about actual victims, but I mean in general.
Well, it's my knowledge, everybody is a victim of something at some point in their life. Everybody.
Turning to gender-related language, Epic Games advises devs to refer to hypothetical people as they, them, their, even in the singular, and anything that is not a person as it and its, for example, a module, plugin, function, client, server, or any other software or hardware component. Further, users asked to not assign a gender to anything that does not have one, nor use collective nouns like guys that assume gender. And also take care to avoid colloquial phrases that contain arbitrary genders like a poor man's ex. Insanity.
That's like, oh,
Somebody needs to come in there with a strong pimp hand.
Lord, praise the pimp hand. Let it be strong, O Lord. Let it strike fear into the masses. O Lord, praise the pimp hand.
Damn right.
Okay. But you remember on The Shining where Jack Torrance is sitting at the bar, the bartender pours him a drink and he goes, "It's the white man's burden." White man's burden in that movie. Well, if that movie had been made in these times, he wouldn't have been able to say that.
Are they saying alcohol is the white man's burden? Well, they're free and easy to put down on whites. There's, nobody's going, hey, let's step around that issue. Let's tiptoe around that. No, they're piling it on.
Yeah.
They're, the white devil. And I'm partially white, partially native, even some Asian. But of course, I'm gonna be taken for white unless you're, brown as can be. You're gonna be white to the world.
Well, if you get out in the sun long enough, that wouldn't be a problem. Yeah.
My family, on the other hand, I turned out paler. My family, on the other hand, they're around the skin tone of the average Mexican, if not a shade darker.
Yeah, I think so.
So, but they look at them and they know there's something. They look at me, oh, white boy.
Like, yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, let me be in the sun for a day. I'll be like, I better run because somebody gonna take it that I just stole a bike and hit a liquor store.
Or you're gonna have to escape to the res.
Yeah, it's something. I better learn Spanish. Because you don't exactly see Native Americans in the wild much.
That's true. That's because there's not a lot of them left.
Yeah, but this Epic Games, there's Epic with Unreal Engine.
Yeah,
I believe they're the same company. And then you have the Unity company and what they pulled with trying to retroactively charge their users, After Effects. Like, use our engine. Now you owe us money.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, I would say, yay, open source. Go with open source, except it's riddled with a mind virus as well. So we're out of luck. That's it. That's the end of the road. But I still believe open source is our last great hope because it can be forked. It can have some amount of control influenced over it. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
It's not a lockdown, closed corporation like Unreal and Unity.
Well, I know when we did a video on woke Linux, that the Mint distribution was had a bunch of this political stuff in it, and they downright said that they did not want people using their product if they didn't believe as they did.
And I changed my operating system.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Linux seems to have a lot of different operating systems.
Well, I don't believe there's a lot of hope with open source either, but it's still our best bet.
Yeah, that's true. At least you wouldn't get stuck with one thing.
That terminology includes the terms of blacklist, alternatively listed include deny list, block list, exclude list, avoid list, unapproved list, forbidden list, and permission list, white list, allow list, include list. You know, like they're saying not this, but these, right? Safe list, preferred list, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it is insane.
Oh my God, it's like having to walk through a minefield.
Oh, it is, yeah.
I mean, really, it's like having to walk through a minefield. You don't know what is okay to say and what
honestly
isn't.
do not believe that these people making these demands are coders whatsoever.
No, I don't think so either, because if they were, they would know how hard it is to do those things, and they would not do it at all.
That's about all we have for today.
Thank you for watching, everybody, and we hope you enjoyed the video. And we are on YouTube and Rumble, and we'll see you on the next one.
Like the pop-up said, like, subscribe, and whatever else it said. We desperately need subscribers and viewers. Oh, and I do have this.
This is Nanette. This is Nanette. Say hello, Nanette. Say, what the hell is this? Oh, Nanette.
Okay, that's it for today.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.